Welcome to the North Carolina Migrant Emergency Management Database, NCMEMD. This tool was developed through a collaborative effort by the Hispanic Federation and Carolina Demography. The NCMEMD is hosted by Carolina Demography at the Carolina Population Center at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. This online database serves as a resource for governmental and non-governmental organizations engaged in emergency preparedness and response for migrant populations across North Carolina. The interactive map covers the entire state of North Carolina and includes information for all 100 counties on the locations of migrant housing, emergency operation centers, public health departments, hospitals, fire stations, local EMS, and potential emergency shelters. You can also view flooding hazard risks for the entire state. In this brief tutorial, we will walk through the resources included in the database and how to navigate this resource. First, let's get oriented with this tool and its different components. To begin, in the upper left corner, you have your zoom function, which allows you to zoom in and out. If you click and drag, you can pan across the state. Clicking the Home button returns you to the default view. Next, in the menu on the left, we have 3 categories of layers or information included in the database. To expand each layer and see the different data points within it, click on the caret to the left. For example, let's start with emergency services. If I click here to expand, we see that the emergency services layer includes information on emergency operation centers, public health departments, hospitals, fire stations, potential emergency shelters, emergency medical services, and farm worker clinics. The symbol for each layer is displayed in the legend to the right. For instance, emergency operation centers appear on the map as green dots, public health departments as red triangles, and so on. To control which layers are visible on the map, you can select or deselect the blue visibility checkboxes. For example, if we deselect the entire emergency services layer group, all of them disappear. If we select a group, we can control the visibility of individual layers within it. For example, if we deselect the emergency operation centers, the green dots are no longer visible on the map. The next layer group is migrant housing. If we only want to view the housing layers, we can deselect the emergency services group. Now, only migrant housing is visible on our map. In this group, we have 2 different layers. The first is North Carolina Department of Labor Registered Migrant Labor Camps displayed as brown triangles. The second is North Carolina Department of Labor Registered Hotel and Motel Migrant Labor Camps displayed as purple pentagons. We need your help to update the addresses of these locations in your area. You can send corrections or updates to us using the housing address correction or addition form included in your welcome email. Finally, the next layer group is flooding risk. In this group, we have a layer of estimated flood risk from Hurricanes Matthew in 2016 and Florence in 2018, and the flood hazard maps from the North Carolina Flood Risk Information System. These layers are deselected in the default view. To view them, select the visibility checkbox beside the layer you wish to view. In this example, we will look at the flood hazard maps. Please note that these layers require more bandwidth and take longer to load. Now that we've walked through the components and structure of the tool, let's walk through the basic functionality. Since most users are likely interested in their respective counties, you can search for the counties in this search box in the upper right. When searching for a county, only the county name is necessary. You don't need to type the word county. Let's look at an example. If I want to see the information for Duplin County, I simply type Duplin in the search bar at the top right and either type Enter or click the search button to the right. When you do so, you automatically will be zoomed in to the county you selected. Remember, we deselected the emergency service layer group before, so we can go back and reselect it to see all of the emergency services in Duplin County. If we want to view the list of addresses included in each of these layers, we can expand this search result menu and scroll down. For example, we can see the addresses of each of the emergency services layers. And if we scroll further, we can see the individual addresses of the migrant housing. For example, if I am planning outreach to a particular camp, I can click on the camp address in the menu and the tool automatically zooms to its location. This is helpful for outreach planning. In this example, I've selected the NCDOL Registered Migrant Labor Camp located at 1003 White Flash Road. Keep in mind, you can always pan and scroll as you would like. If we pan out just a bit, we can see this camp's proximity to Scott's Store Road, which may help with emergency response. We can also see its proximity to another registered camp. If we click on this camp, we can see that it's located at 894 White Flash Road. From this, if we want to zoom back out to Duplin County, we simply click the county name at the top of the search result menu here. From the county zoom, we also have the option to download the list of addresses of any of these layers. For instance, if we want to download the address data for NCDOL registered migrant labor camps, we click on the three-dot ellipse to the right of the layer title in the layer menu on the left. Finally, if we want to return to our statewide default view, you can clear your search result by clicking the X to the right of the search bar. We appreciate you using the North Carolina Migrant Emergency Management Database. Please provide any feedback, corrections, or additions using the housing correction or addition form included in your welcome email.